Since the 1st of December 2024, South Africa holds the presidency of the G20 until November 2025. The presidency confirms that South Africa has assumed its rightful place on the world stage and is committed to playing a constructive role on the continent and around the globe for the realization of a better Africa and a better world. The Department of Transport, of which SANRAL is a key agency, has a key role to play, particularly in harnessing the power of infrastructure development to create social and economic growth. Solidarity, equity, and sustainability are the themes of the G20 Summit. We talked to Lehlohonolo Memeza, the Chief Corporate Affairs Officer, about SANRAL's journey in the G20. Now, let's start here. From your point of view, what are the most important areas of the G20 Summit that positions SANRAL?
I think if we start by what is the theme of G20 this year. So they're looking at solidarity, equality, and sustainability. And where does SANRAL play a major role in there is that SANRAL continues to ensure that we comply to all the standards. Currently, what SANRAL is undergoing is compliance with the ISO 55001, and that relates to the asset management. And that makes it will ensure us that as we build in the roads infrastructure, we comply with all standards, and we're doing it in a good quality, and we consider the environment. So if you look at what's happening now in the world and what we are facing, it's this issue of floods and us improving the materials that we are using, that we are sustainable, we protecting the environment. So it will make us very compliant and that we efficient, and we don't spend a lot of money in this infrastructure that we are building. And equality, we ensure, if you look at South Africa and where we are in terms of driving transformation, is that SANRAL has an outsource model. Which means we go out, we advertise tenders, and we get service providers to assist us and contractors to assist us in the design and the construction of the roads. So in all the tenders that we're advertising, we make sure that there's equality, obviously led by our constitution, that everything is transparent, is equitable, but with that, we drive in transformation. We want to redress the issues of the past. So SANRAL is for transformation, and if you look at our Horizon 2030, in last year, board approved transformation to be one of the pillars. In previous years, it used to only be an enabler, but now it's a pillar. So we tick the box on equality part and making sure that women are put at the forefront, and making sure that this industry, the construction industry, that women can be able to participate in it, youth, people living with disabilities as well.
Now, the pillar of the G20 is sustainability. Please take us through SANRAL's position.
I think following from my response to the first question, that SANRAL is always considering the environment as we are building all this mega infrastructure that you may be aware of. If you look at the N2 Wild Coast, which has all the roads, and the Mtentu and the Msikaba Bridge. If you look at here in Gauteng, if you look at Moloto, which touches different provinces, which is Gauteng and Limpopo and Mpumalanga. And then if you look at the N3, if you look at mega projects there, which is the Ashburton and EB Klute. So all these mega projects, before they even get to construction phase, our environmental team, they do the assessment, they get necessary permits that they need so that we don't disturb the environment, we don't destruct the environment, because we want our children and children and children's children still benefit from this infrastructure. As I indicated in my response, that SANRAL is undergoing a process of being compliant or being certified with ISO 55001, which is relating to asset management. And in there, we make sure that that we consider the environment as we're building our roads. So SANRAL contributes to that. And I think now that we're going provincial, we used to have regional offices, but now we make sure that SANRAL is present in all 9 regions, 9 provinces. So with that, we want to work closely to different municipalities, different provincial offices, so that all roads authorities are together and they coordinate in how we build roads, so that we share knowledge, we avoid instances of when there's floods that some roads are swept away because of maybe they are not compliant to certain standards. So if SANRAL is compliant, because our focus is on the national roads and our mandate is only limited to national roads. But if we advise and work together with our colleagues, with like your municipalities and your provinces, we will achieve a lot, and our roads in the entire South Africa will be sustainable. Even the materials that SANRAL is going to be using going forward in the road construction, it will ensure that those materials are sustainable, and then they will be able to prolong the life of the asset, and at the same time to make sure that the environment is sustainable going forward.
Now, as the Chief Corporate Affairs Officer, what is your involvement in terms of preparation for the G20 Summit?
Maybe let's start. SANRAL has been appointed by the National Department of Transport as the lead for the preparation for the G20 Summit relating to roads infrastructure in South Africa. So I have been selected to lead that team. So, and the team is obviously representing all roads authorities. So we have provincial, we have municipalities, we have us as SANRAL, and we have NDOT, which is the National Department of Transport. So I lead those roads authorities. We have identified technical teams represented by SANRAL, and every technical team is led by SANRAL provincial heads. And we meet on a weekly basis to give an update in terms of the roads that needs to be fixed. So initially SANRAL went around the country to do the evaluation of different roads or assessment of different roads. And we identified defects, we came up with, or we proposed solutions and timelines, and which roads authorities is impacted with different roads that have been identified. So we identified roads from airports as they land, the delegates land, and leading to different meeting venues, leading to different hotels that they will be staying at. So to make sure that South Africa is portrayed in a good light, that the roads that they will be traveling on are safe, because we want our delegates to be safe. And so we meet on a weekly basis to get an update from colleagues to saying, are you fixing the roads that have been identified? So that's what you're doing all over the country. As I indicated in one of the responses, is that our board saw the need to elevate transformation to being a pillar. And that means we cannot operate as SANRAL, we cannot deliver on our mandate if we don't make transformation a pillar, if transformation is not the center of everything that we're doing. So it's been elevated to a pillar, and we are involved in every procurement process and making sure that our people are empowered. SANRAL wants to transform the entire value chain. So we're not just looking at the construction, because we know that the entire value chain, there's a lot of supply that happens, supply of materials, supply of technology as the roads are being built. So we're looking at the entire value chain and being able to identify Black industrialists in our value chain and bringing them on and being able to empower them and partner with other institutions like your IDC in terms of financing, your DBSA in terms of that, so that they get the necessary support that's needed. And even the private sector, we have approached different banks on the funding part, and there's only one bank that came through, which is amazing. I cannot name them now, but it's something that is exciting, and it tells you that SANRAL is for transformation, and it's working hard to make sure that there's equality in everything that we do. Thank you.
Thank you so much for joining us today, and we wish you all the best in the work that you continue to do to strengthening the pillars of the G20 through SANRAL.
Thank you.